Alright, so here we have the Dewalt 60 gallon. That's not what I paid for it. Probably wouldn't been encouraged to buy it for that much. I do believe that it should be just fine. In fact, it's probably the exact same thing that Husky and Cobalt and all those other guys have. Probably the same factory, and go somewhere to get that nice color on it and somebody's sticker, which I've damn near cut straight through with a bucket. But everything up here is good. If it's a little low on oil, though, see, it's right there, and then according to this, that's where you add, and then full up there. So probably not that much. And what do you know? It tells you exactly what it wants in there. So that should be fine. I have a feeling that Allen wrench thing is the same as those. So I guess that means I know that I've got the right tools to get this guy set up. But yeah, so we got this thing home. I wasn't totally awake for most of the process, and so I failed. Yeah, hi, Tom. I've been out here a while, buddy. Hey, can I finish the video? I mean, I just started. So Tom is letting me know that I am outside, which is good to know for me. Although I'm awake now, so that's probably information that I will disregard. At any rate, so I bought this thing, and I wasn't really, in totally the right mind. So I thought, hey, I'll just buy one of those. That was on clearance for like $40 or something. And it'll plug in here. Of course, that doesn't make any sense, because why would it just plug in like that? You're going to want a valve for this. And so, according to online, this guy here is a 3/4 inch NPT brass, probably brass fitting would be best. So I'm going to get me one of those, and probably going to get the required moisture trap. But it's kind of a hard sell. I'm sure that this thing needs it. I'm sure that it's probably pretty standard to do so. But I live in one of those places where, in order to get any more arid, I would need to be in Arizona, especially in the summertime. We're relatively close to a lake, but humidity isn't something that anybody ever talks about here, unless it's just rained. This guy will be inside this building right here. I do plan on putting a 240 volt, I think one phase power outlet right here, because this is kind of like a little carport type thing. It's really ugly, and I'd love to just hook this up to a tractor that's several orders of magnitude bigger than this one, and just pull this whole building down and bulldoze the crap out of it, and maybe not even reuse the foundation, because this building is just so janky. That's power. That's a nightmare. And that's the power. It comes up and goes in this pipe. And then my power pole's over there. That scares the hell out of me, as well it should. But this is the condition that the guy left it in, and I've kind of been like, I'm not touching that too much. I don't want to deal with that. I have tapped into his outlets over there that do occupy this stuff, but that's scary. So I need to take that back apart and probably just yank these things off the building. What I would really like to do, and my tool thirst has kind of made this a difficult thing to do. If I just stopped buying tools for a little while, I could buy all the stuff to fix all this crap. What I'd like to do, though, is tear out all his wiring, because he doesn't even use the right, he didn't use the right colors or gauges or anything, and I just like to run some 6 gauge wire up to here, punch into this thing, throw a breaker box on it, because it's separate from the house, because the power for the house goes out and away, which is one of the reasons that this thing is still nasty looking. It's not my house, and if it burns down and doesn't take any trees with it, which is unlikely because that one's touching it, that would actually be just fine by me. Even if I didn't get any payout from the insurance company, it would save me a lot of work. I do have a lot of tools in there, and that would actually suck. But yeah, this building is the bane of my existence, but it continues to shelter my tractor, which is like one of the very few things that it does that I like. And it's even got a little window right here, but the window's broke. mean, this is the most pathetic workshop ever. I usually call it a shed because that's what it is to me. It's a shed that somebody stapled electricity to, and the electricity goes inside, but it's really weird. He just like drywalled in the wires, like he didn't run them to a receptacle or something. So money permitting, I'm going to rip all this crap off and do it right. Run it in the walls, do a circuit breaker for the damn thing. Probably give it a 200 amp switch out there because I do have a welder in here. This guy's going to live in here. And there is something else that's I'm trying to... Oh, yes, that's right. So, get rid of all that. And I want the 240 right out here, like I said at the beginning. What I'd like to do is be able to pull in my electric vehicle and have a Category 2 connector right here. And then also probably one on the inside. And that would be powering this guy. And then if I ever got serious with a welder or something of that nature, that could happen. But going back to this thing, so we're going to need at very least a valve right here that I can neck down or put a manifold on and be able to run some air stuff. It would be a real game changer for me if I could take this guy here and use it to sandblast all these black poles you see. They're all box steel. I'm not real sure what he was doing because he's got box steel on all of those black things, and they've been painted like 18 times. Like every time the paint like started to kind of peel, he just put one over it with another coat. And so they are probably, you know, they could be 3x3s and it just, you know, the last inch is all paint. I wouldn't know the difference because that's how much paint is on those things. They're crazy. So I'd like to be able to sandblast all of that off there and maybe paint them a color that goes with the house or something. I don't know. And he's got all these, like, they're actually 2x4s that are up in there supporting it, and you can kind of see right here where the roof line like does this away to oi thing, and that needs to stop. That's pretty cool for dancing and another state that lives in the Pacific Ocean, but it's not so good for my patio. I'd like to cut those guys down a couple of inches too and just throw 6x6s on that, or 4x6s even. I don't even care. I went ahead and priced that, doing that out, and before I had this guy, I probably had the money, but I have a feeling that I would probably get a lot of use out of the tractor for various parts of that, carrying the wood, for example, lifting it to where I need it to be so I don't have to like try to lift a 300-pound chunk of wood 8 feet in the air. I'm not even sure I can do that, especially at the lengths I'm looking at here. I mean, I can totally see that being 2 pieces of wood, which would probably be a little bit more than the weight that I just quoted. A better thing might be just to take box steel and do that, because it is long, and there's locations in there where it wasn't quite sealed right, and then they just like threw stuff over the top of it. The house is beautiful, but the additional things like this and that, they're giving me serious bad vibes, I guess. So yeah, but this guy here, this is going to be a game changer for a lot of stuff. Tomorrow I have a 5 or 10 gallon bead seeder coming, and there was no way that I was going to be able to use that little cheeseburger thing to do this. And so this guy here is kind of a continuation of the war of the water tires. So I need to get this guy set up today or tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna have to use the existing wiring, but I do have enough of some other wire. I might just run this guy a brand new run and cut some of this crap off of the house. I don't know if I have anything to rewire it, so I might just end up punching a hole in the backside of this thing. No tears over that. It's oddly nice on the inside though. He drywalled it all in. It's creepy how well it keeps the temperature consistent inside there. If you open it up on a hot day but it's winter, it'll blast you like a freezer. It's really weird. I wish my house was that well insulated. I don't know what the hell he did to do so. I think it's the really, really thick drywall or something that he's done. But I digress. It's going to be fun digging a hole through all of that and the insulation that is undoubtedly in there because of the way that it keeps the temperature so good. That in the attic on this thing is just immense. Towards the sides here, you can barely see down into it, especially over here. And he's got, this is all drywall, and then he's like punched holes in it with a drill to make it like soffit. But right at the apex of the roof, which is just a little bit inside there, I can probably stand up, and I'm 6.5 feet tall, so that's pretty cool. I'm not using it for anything. In fact, I'm kind of scared of it. It looks like there's stuff that they forgot up there, and so I've just been ignoring it because I don't want to know what it is. But I guess we're going to find out here shortly, because that's probably the most logical place to run cabling to, and therefore I'm going to rip all of his crap out eventually. And some 6-gauge runs off of my power board there, and we should be good, actually. I'm a little excited. But first, we got to get this guy fitted for a like an actual plug-in. I think I've actually got a 240 plug-in in here. Let's find out. I'm not even sure if this is something I can do, but it looks like it should. There's my light. There we go. So this room's a wreck, but I think I may have what I need here. No, that would be right appliance. Oh, a little bit of sunshade. Hey, what's this? Oh, dip, I've got 2 of them. Alright, well, I only need 1. Oh. Guess I'll have to look online and see if that is the same thing. That would be a convenient truth, though. I would really like that. So, we'll have to look that up, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But, yeah, that's just about exactly what I need, I think. But rather than, hillbilly this thing, we're going to make sure that it is all quite kosher, by the book, if a little bit weird. But something like this, I could see. Yeah, because you would have power. So, ground, hot 1, neutral, and hot 2. That seems right to me, but I may have been sleeping in my electrical engineering class. So we will have to see. And if it's not right, we just won't do it. Because I actually am not super fond of conducting electricity. I've done it a couple of times really good. I try to avoid doing that anymore, but I've completed some circuits in my life, and I'm not anxious to add another notch to my, I guess, belt on that, because that is just, it's not fun. I'm not very fond of doing involuntary things like grab onto something harder because I'm conducting some electricity. So, yeah, we will see.